We've had 2 heats and a repechage for this event. Canada and 8. England, represented by the University of London Tyrian Club. Canadians were all members of the Canadian 8 who were 1984 Olympic champions.
Lane 5, you'll do lane 6, out 3.
New Zealand, very good heat winners. Members of the 8 here.
Stop.
Australia.
Lane 2, back.
One newcomer to international competition there, Neil Myers. The diagonal strike on their singlets, Northern Ireland.
England.
And they're okay now.
Are you ready?
They did the Scotland there.
Start was good.
So we have a good start. Scotland in lane 1, England in 2, Canada in 3, New Zealand in 4, Australia in 5, Northern Ireland in 6, and it looks, Chris Bailey, as though we may be in for fast times today.
Yes, we've got very fast conditions today. The time of the first race indicates that. We'll be looking at a target time for this race around 6 minutes, about half a minute faster than they were yesterday.
And incidentally, half a minute faster than the Commonwealth Games record, an indication of how much rowing, in common with so many other sports, has progressed since 1962, when rowing was last a part of the Commonwealth Games. This particular event has featured only in 3 previous games: at Hamilton in the first games in 1930, and then at Cardiff in 58 and Perth 4 years later, and England took the gold medals on each occasion. New Zealand in the front of our picture there. Simon the stroke, a bronze medal in the Cox 4 in the Olympic Games. And coming up to the 1500 metre mark, clearly we're in for another very good race here. The timing in the top corner unofficial, but Scotland have done well, and so too Canada and Australia. Scotland in lane 1, part of the Scottish 8. Between those 3, there is absolutely nothing at the moment. Australia, Canada, and the surprises here, Scotland.
The marker in this race is New Zealand. They're the crew with some form, in that they have a good, strong background as Olympic champions in 8s. The New Zealand 4 is comparatively untried out of the 8, and expected to come through in the second half, and they're sitting strongly in the 3rd place, but it's Australia in the lead at the moment. They've performed below what was expected of them in Lucerne, and they're out here to demonstrate that they're worth a place not just here but in the World Championships in 3 weeks' time in Nottingham.
So it's Australia by half a length from Canada. Fastest time yesterday was done by England in the repechage. Scotland, after their fast start, dropping out of the picture, and we're coming towards halfway, the 1000 metre mark, with Australia and Canada disputing the lead. Australia just maybe with an unofficial time of about 2 minutes 58, and that's 6 seconds faster than England were in the repechage. Canada moving through front of Australia, and New Zealand beginning to mount their challenge. The New Zealanders, bow Andrew Stevenson. 2 is Shane O'Brien, who has a gold in this event from the Olympic Games. 3 is Neil Gibson, and stroke Don Simon.
And this looks like developing into being a classic race, with Canada in front. Australia appear to be fading at this point, and New Zealand are pushing through to the 2nd place. And just out of our picture, England are not far behind, so this could be a classic last 500 metres. The Canadians beginning to stretch out in front, trying to break contact with that group behind them. But the New Zealanders are holding on and pushing with them.
Just in the left of the picture there, the bow of the England boat. Winners at Mannheim earlier this season, 6th at Lucerne. You'll hear us refer a lot to results from Lucerne because that's been the big regatta this year where most of the best in the world were present. And with 500 meters to go, Canada by half a length from New Zealand. England pulling through to challenge Australia for the bronze, and we have a really exciting race on our hands over the last 500 meters. Canada, New Zealand, Australia and England battling for third.
And it's going to be a question of whether the big, long men of New Zealand can get on terms with this compact and fast four from Canada. They've got to put in a big effort now if they're to get back on terms with them. There's nearly 3/4 of a length between the boats, and they've got about a minute's rowing to go.
Coming up towards 250 meters from home, Canada nearest to the camera. New Zealand on the far side at the moment in the silver medal positions. Have New Zealand still got something in hand? What about the battle for bronze? Will it be England nearest to the cameras, or will it be Australia in the yellow vests on the far side? England just about in third place. Canada maintaining their lead, pursued hard by New Zealand. 100 meters to go now. Canada with New Zealand responding. Canada and New Zealand, virtually nothing in it now as they come up towards the line with about 50 meters to go. Canada just, New Zealand responding. Canada, New Zealand, nothing in it. This is going to be the tightest final we've seen so far, and Canada take it by inches from New Zealand. England have come through well to take the bronze, leaving Australia in fourth place at the end, Chris Bailey, of a really tremendous race.
Oh, absolutely first-class race. And it was fascinating to see how the New Zealand four responded to the pressure, and again, Canada responded. A tremendous fight over the last 500 meters. What a good race, and indeed a very good performance by England to come through and take third place from Australia.
And the official times confirming how fast conditions are today. England won the repechage in 6 minutes 22, so that'll give you some idea on the margin on medals. And shakes.
For the men's coxless fours, Pat Turner, Kevin Neufeld, Paul Steele and Grant Main representing Canada.
Plenty of support from the other.
Silver medal for the men's coxless fours, Andrew Stevenson, Shane O'Brien, Neil Gibson and Don Simon representing New Zealand.
And any crew that has lost gold medals by less than 3/10 of a second is
bronze medal for the men's coxless fours, Graham Faultless, Richard Ireland, Mostyn Field and Humphry Hatton representing England.
And warm applause too for the four.